Hello everyone and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from Reggie Forever and he's in the Georgia at tier 9 US battleship. He's on the map Loop in a 3-point domination game. So he's top tier, which is lovely. There is no carrier, there are 4 destroyers, so there might be some torpedoes around. Although I mean the Cossack isn't the best torpedo boat, the Kiev isn't either, the Briska is low tier. But, you know, the pan-European might just throw some torps around. And I'm here to apologize for the camera again. It's like unfortunately, since I think 9.3, if you try to follow your shells and then you look at the replay, then you know, in the replay it's just buggy. And there is nothing I can do about it. But anyway, our Georgia is here on the A-cap side, and
Get back!
Yeah. The friendlies have given up the sea camp for some reason. Technically there's a destroyer somewhere close, but he is rather far in the back. It's like the enemy team doesn't have radar. So I'm not sure what happened here at the sea cap, but yeah, I mean there isn't support either, so the landing crowd's probably wise to not go too much. The friendlies are charging into the center for whatever reason. Like, why would you have... Like, okay, I can see the Atlanta wanting to be close to this island. The Atlanta doesn't have a lot of range and it has radar, so it wants to help out here. But why is the Sarah pushing in there? That just shouldn't happen. Now we have a friendly... I'm not sure what this friendly destroyer is doing, to be honest. Now we have the set in here trying to contest this cap. Good choice from the set. He also has probably hydro smoke combo, so pretty strong. He can hydro the Cossack on the other side of the island. The problem, of course, is nobody has shots at this guy. But the set should be rather safe. I mean, he just has to be careful that he isn't getting spotted by the Cossack in return. And well, we've got a Prinisi here, so Reggie is pushing forward, and that's a good thing. There aren't too many enemies here, and with Georgia, a nice top tier rolling battleship here, he's obviously in a good position to make something happen. If he can push her forward enough, he might even get shots on a Cossack, and we lost vision, so there are some torps. So it looks like the hydro has run out, which makes the set a bit more vulnerable, because his major advantage is gone now, and I think the set was on rather low hit points. Now we do have a Kronstadt here, with potential radar to help out. And it looks like there was a massacre around in the B camp.
Torpedoes,
okay.
Get ahead.
And down goes a Brindisi. Well, that's lovely. Well, next up we have an Amagi. So it looks like Rick decided to not continue pushing. I mean, he made that kind of turn decision before the cruiser was devastated. And I mean, that cruiser has torpedoes, so he might have wanted to keep his distance from that. And also, if he pushes too far, the Cossack might be able to torp him, I guess. Now we've lost vision on the Cossack. The set is in retreat, possibly because he's on low health with Hydro on cooldown, and he's afraid that the Cossack could just come around and farm him. The Kronstadt and the Alsace probably can't help too much because there's an island in the way, although the radar might just be in at some point.
Engine boost activated.
And the enemy Amagi is taking quite a beating here and should go down pretty soon. So engine boost here is activated, and I think he wants to use that to... I mean, the Amagi is almost dead, and then he can make a turn. There is a Nagato coming here. Obviously you don't want to be broadside to a Nagato. I mean, it's only tier 7, but the guns still hurt. So secondaries took care of the Amagi. Come on, Nagato. Once the Nagato shoots, he's... So he stopped his turn a little bit here. He wants the Nagato to shoot, I assume, and then he wants to turn. There are the shells. The problem still is, obviously, battleships don't turn that quickly, and it's entirely possible that Nagato reloads before he has completed his turn. It's always a bit problematic if you want to turn your ship like 10 kilometers from another battleship. Meanwhile, I mean, the friendlies do control the center, but this is... friendly ships all over the place. I'm still not sure what the friendly pan-European is doing there here in the one line. But hey. We have actually quite a party up here in the north. Now, I get why the set on low health had to retreat probably from the A side. I'm not sure what the other friendly ships are doing here all around. The Kronstadt decided that isn't needed anymore at the A side and he wants to reinforce the other flank. I mean, the other flank is pretty much crumbling, so I can see why it wanted. With an Atlanta in a very interesting aggressive position, maybe the Atlanta is trying to top the Dalsas. The Dalsas seems to be stuck here in that thing. And I don't know how old that last spotted position is, but I assume the Alsace is still there, so that might be interesting, although I'm not sure if the Atlanta won't get devastated before his torpedo ambush goes off. I mean, while Reggie is now finally pushing into the A cap, there is only that there is still the Cossack remaining. But he should be able to easily get the Nagato. The Cossack is spotted, which that probably won't last. His set is on very low health and the set is going to go down, unfortunately. I mean, it's a shame. The set was the one that really tried. He tried to take A, he used his Hydro there early on. I'm not sure how he took the enormous amount of damage he did early on. But he was forced to retreat. He tried to come back in and help with the camp. I mean, that set really tried to fight for the A side. The other destroyer, meanwhile, I don't think he has ever been even close to the camp. Has never really provided any kind of spotting, and he uses it towards the one line. For the most part, I think. Anyway, Cossack has been found. Which probably won't last. He's almost behind the island. The good thing is that the Cossack isn't really... Well, he doesn't have that many torpedoes, so... It probably won't devastate our Georgia here. Now, the enemy team obviously has more points. Ship-wise, though, it's pretty equal. The enemy team has a lot more destroyers. But maybe they can, like, get rid of the Cossack around here. Meanwhile, the Amaki and the Alsace, you remember, like, a few minutes ago when they were uselessly in the north there, and you thought maybe to yourself, hey, they could just sail towards B now or something. No, they decided to sail into the one line. I mean, at which point did they think that was a great idea? I mean, look, when we look at the minimap, we know where all the enemies are, and there's nobody in the one line. Ah, the Cossack has been dealt with, that's lovely. Torpedoes dodged, and now they can flip its cap. Which will be a good start to bring this back, because then the friendlies will have more capture zones. And it's still 10 minutes, right? The enemy team might have a 100-point lead. But if the friendlies get the majority of the caps, well, there is a Soyuz pushing in. Oh, look at that. The Alsace and Yamaki finally figured out in which direction the enemy team is. Shocking, I know. So this is one of the situations where I think we're going to speed it up slightly. I've unlocked the camera so you don't get vertigo by fast movements. And so the Georgia is going around here, probably because the Soyuz is most likely looking this way, so he's trying to ambush him. Now if he were going the other way, he would probably have been into this cap sooner. But we will find out if his ambush plan works. I mean, I think he wants the Soyuz to be surprised and have his guns pointing the wrong way. Look at that, the Soyuz guns are pointing the wrong way, so good job by him. Nice salvo there. There is a Citadel, there is a high caliber. Secondaries are going off. Now, of course, the Soyuz guns are turning already, and there is still a lot of Soyuz left health-wise. There are some friendly troops coming in from behind, but he noticed them, which is good. I mean, means he's probably not going to get torped himself. But those torpedoes are going to limit his movement, so that's a bit awkward. But you know, I mean, that's not... There are so many torpedoes. Considering this friendly destroyer, this is basically what I expected. He has been so immensely useful, why wouldn't he be torping into a brawl, right? Now, Reggie here is already preparing for the sail by. Basically, that means his guns are pointing right here, because, you know, the turrets aren't necessarily turning fast enough in a battleship, so you have to aim here already, right? And then you sail into the position where you can fire your guns. And took quite a big hit, but, you know, good job there. Like, a very easy mistake to make is, if you are going in a situation like that, is to... Oh, crap, there's a Kiev. But what I wanted to say is, the easy mistake to make is that you keep your guns trained at the battleship when coming in, and then your turret traverse can't keep up, and your turrets are not in a good position when you are fully broadside, so you have to, like, aim basically somewhere here and then sail right next to it and then fire your guns. But that Kiev, oh, where are the torps? Don't see any torps yet, so he's trying his best to keep angled. I mean, you might get... Oh, he got taken out anyway. You might get tempted in a situation like that to turn a little bit to make your guns point at the enemy, but keeping your butt towards the torps is obviously important to dodging. Will he dodge them all? Probably. That torpedo there is a bit awkward, isn't it? Well, he took one. Not the end of the world. So at this point, it's just 2 enemies remaining. And it finally looks like the friendlies have turned this around. Now, keep in mind that points-wise, it's still, like, equal, and the enemy team is actually pulling ahead because the friendly camp is contested.
Problem solved, sir.
But the friendlies are going to flip B, and, well, I guess the enemy would still be pulling ahead if they are managing to flip A. But we have an Amagi there who may or may not do something about this. We have a Cruncher and Musashi in the BEC line for whatever reason, and obviously we have our most helpful destroyer down here who, I think he's, I don't know, maybe he sailed through A at some point. Not sure if he's ever seen a cap. Maybe he's getting some new experience here if he arrives at sea. Now obviously I think it's time to slightly speed this up at least. There we go, he's going to go... Well, I mean, I'm not sure if we can... If he can get some good hits at this distance, but you know, it's a broadside Friedrich, and the Georgia isn't the most inaccurate ship, so it's actually pretty accurate for a battleship. So maybe can get a little bit more damage out of this. Oh no, the Erland is so close to entering a cap, but I guess he's not ready yet for new experiences like camping. So he probably scraped the outside of the cap, but he turned away in time. I mean, wouldn't wanna have cap zone now, would we? Oh, that was a pretty decent hit there. What did you do to the shell follow camera wargaming?
Spotter airborne.
So, now you could ask yourself, why isn't he charging towards that Friedrich? Probably because he wants to defend B, and possibly because he decided that it would be a waste of time, because by the time he gets close to the Friedrich should be down. I mean, that Friedrich is surviving quite long, I guess. But then again, the Musashi decided to take a path that brings him behind. Well, okay, the Musashi is going for a cap zone, I guess. Can't really fault him for that. But, I mean, the island probably blocked the shots. I don't know, like, if he's actually going for a cap zone, that's not really... So, that guy is taken care of. The friendlies are in the lead anyway. They have the points, the caps, they have everything in their favor right now. There's just one destroyer remaining, and oh, look at that destroyer. He goes for a new experience. He will enter a camp. I hope he likes it, and he will come back for more in the future. Okay, so this is the time where we speed it up again. And he's firing here to figure out if, well, I mean, look at that circle. I mean that the friendly, that the enemy destroyer is in that area is not a big surprise. Then again, I mean, he now knows that the vision wasn't blocked by those islands. We also know that he's in the A cap anyway. So, will the enemy destroyer go down fighting, or will he just sail away and preserve his health for no reason at all? Well, I mean, oh, there he is. He's actually fighting. Look at that. Then again, I mean, obviously he's more a torpedo boat than a gunboat, so he could just try to farm torpedoes until the clock runs out. Or he could just go charging in. I mean, obviously his torpedoes would be more likely to hit if he was closer. But it looks like the enemy destroyer is not willing to fight this out. He's going to sail away and the friendlies are going to win this.
Torpedoes, direct front.
But hey, it looks like he got a torpedo hit there. Well, and that brings us to the results. And Reggie Forever did pretty well in there. So he pushed his flank, then he went on, took the center, and then at this point it was probably already over anyway. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time.